Come on back to my place. I live alone and no one could distract or disturb us, Tyler said. Really? What did you have in mind? Yugi asked, faking an interested smile. Well, I thought that I could put on some music and then we could let things from there, Tyler said. With the lights down low in your bedroom? Yugi asked. You read my mind, Tyler said with a smile. Yugi gave him a rather tight smile. You know what I say? Yugi said. What? Tyler asked, leaning in to kiss Yugi. Before Tyler knew what hit him, Yugi had raised his fist and dealt an uppercut to Tyler's chin, knocking Tyler feel on his ass. Whatever that means. Wow! What the bloody hell was that for? Tyler shouted, holding his now throbbing jaw. A trail of blood was coming the corner of his mouth. That was for lying your ass off to me about you being my boyfriend, Yugi spat. What? Tyler asked, unable to understand how Yugi found out. We never dated before I lost my memory. You took advantage of the fact that I can't remember anything and tricked me into dating you, Yugi growled. Tyler's eyes widened before they narrowed. He stood up, still holding his throbbing jaw, and said, Did that bastard Yami tell you? Did he convince you of that? Tyler demanded. No one said a word about it to me, Yugi said. The how? Tyler started. I arrived early at the diner, and I heard every word that you said to your disgusting friends. You planned to try and get me in your bed tonight and then be done with it. You even stole me right from under my real boyfriend, Yugi spat. I'm better for you, Tyler retorted. No, you're not. I don't want someone who just wants sex and would cheat at the first chance they had. I want someone who will love and respect me. Someone who is kind and caring. Someone who is considerate of me and my feelings. Someone who would be faithful to me, Yugi said. Who says I wouldn't be faithful? Tyler demanded. You were looking at the waitress at the diner with such a lustful look it's a wonder that you didn't jump her in the restaurant, and then I saw you flirting with her when I came out of the restroom. We were supposed to be on a date and you were still flirting, Yugi said. Tyler glared. So what? It's not like we're married, Tyler said. Dating is to see if you find the qualities you like in someone. I don't like any that I see in you. I didn't feel anything when I agreed to this date. I didn't want to come on this date, and I regret coming on this date, Yugi said. How dare you? You should feel honored. I wanted you, Tyler growled. Yugi narrowed his eyes. You are the last person in the world that I would want, Yugi said. He then turned to leave. Tyler reached out and grabbed Yugi by the arm. You're not going anywhere, Tyler said. Ooh, rape time! Yugi whirled around and punched Tyler so hard in the face that he fell again. Don't you ever touch me again, you bastard! And stay the hell away from me! Yugi spat before he turned on his heels and stalked off, leaving Tyler holding his, most likely broken, jaw. It had been 2 hours since Yugi had left, and Yami was going crazy thinking about the possibilities of what was going on. Atomo and Heiba had been driven crazy at what Yami was doing. Yami, stop pacing already, Atomo said. I can't. What if he's managed to seduce Yugi somehow? Yami asked. Yami, he hasn't. I talked to Yugi a lot while I lived in Egypt, and he was even less likely to have sex when I was 14 as opposed to now, Heiba said. Yeah, still trying to figure out what that sentence actually meant. Well, what if Tyler forces him? Yami asked. Even Tyler's not that stupid, Atomo said. But, Yami started. Heiba's phone bleeped. He picked it up and looked at the text message from Yugi. Yugi. Are you home? Heiba. Yes. Yugi. I'll be on my way. Heiba. Okay, see you then. Who was that? Atomo asked when Heiba put the phone down. It was Yugi. He's on his way home, so you can stop worrying, Yami, Heiba said. Sorry, I just can't help but think about the possibilities, Yami said. Don't worry about it, please. Yugi's fine, Heiba said. Yami sighed. Sorry, that's not the easiest thing to do, Yami said. Besides, if you're lucky, Tyler will have made a complete ass of himself and he's going to never get Yugi to go out with him again, Atomo said. One can only hope, Yami said. Yugi walked towards his home. He was holding his left hand with his right. He was pretty sure that he had broken his left hand from punching Tyler in the face twice. But it felt so damn good, Yugi thought. Yugi was still beyond pissed that Tyler had not only tricked him into dating him, but had had the gall to say that he deserved him. That bastard had better not come across me again. I won't hesitate to break his jaw again, Yugi thought. He winced when he moved his left hand. Then again, maybe I won't. I don't want to break my hand again, and Grandpa's going to be angry enough with me for this. I know he's gone for the weekend, but this won't heal before he gets back, Yugi thought. Yugi kept on walking, knowing when he got home that he's need to go and see a doctor. Heiba, Atomo, and Yami all heard the front door open and then close. There he is, Yami. You can stop worrying now, Atomo said in a low voice so that Yugi wouldn't hear him. Yami glared at his brother. Haber, Yugi called. We're in the living room, Yugi, Haber replied. Do we have any ice packs? Yugi asked. Haber frowned, wondering why he would need one. Yeah, they're in the freezer. Why? Haber asked. I need one, Yugi said. Why would Yugi need an ice pack? Yami asked, thinking that Tyler might have done something to him. Oh, I don't even want to get into those possibilities. I don't know, but I'm finding out, Haber said. He got up and walked into the kitchen. Yugi was reaching into the freezer to get an ice pack. Yugi, why do you need an ice pack? Haber asked. To ease some of the pain, Yugi said as he put the pack on his hand. What happened? Haber asked. Hurt my hand, Yugi said. Haber walked over and removed the ice pack. He gasped when he saw how bad Yugi's hand looked. Yugi, what the hell happened to your hand? Haber shouted. The shout brought Yami and Atomu running into the room. Both gasped when they saw the condition that Yugi's hand was in. What happened? Atomu asked. Well, let's just say that I hit something that was rather hard, Yugi said. He winced when Haber moved his hand. And I think that I probably broke my hand, Yugi said. Haber put the ice pack on Yugi's hand. What did you hit? A brick wall? Haber asked. Well, not exactly, although it was just about as hard as a brick wall, Yugi said. What, concrete? Yami asked. No, Tyler's face, Yugi said. All three stared at him. You punched Tyler? In the face? Haber asked. Yes, Yugi said. Why? Yami asked. Because he pissed me off, Yugi said. He winced again. Okay, let's take him to the emergency room so that they can take care of his hand, Atomu said. Walking there won't be easy, Yugi said. We'll drive. We can all drive, and Grandpa said only to use the car in an emergency, and I think this qualifies, Yami said. The group went out and got in the car before heading to the hospital. The doctor walked into the room. What happened here? The doctor asked. I got into a bit of a fight, and I think I broke my hand, Yugi said. Not much of a fight, then, the doctor said. Not really, Yugi said, especially since Tyler's probably got a broken jaw. He didn't feel a bit guilty about it either. Well, we'll x-ray it and then deal with the rest, the doctor said. Not wanted to go into the whole assault charge, maybe, doctor? Yugi nodded. After the x-rays, the doctor said, Well, you broke it, the doctor said. Well done, doctor. Good to see the NHS, or the American equivalent now, is working well. He wrapped Yugi's hand up before he put a splint on it. You'll have to wear this for about 6 weeks, the doctor said. Thanks, Haber said. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to the guy you fought? The doctor asked. Well, I might have broken his jaw. I'm nit sure, though, Yugi said. I see. You certainly had the upper hand, the doctor said. Ha 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 ha. Oh, doctors are so funny, aren't they? I was a little upset at what he's done, Yugi said. Well, don't dot hat again for a while, the doctor said. I won't, Yugi assured him. Yugi and Haber then left the hostile room. Wow, they are hostile in America, aren't they? Yami and Atomu stood up when they saw them. Well, Yami asked. It's broken and he has to wear that for 6 weeks, Haber said. Well, let's get home, Atomu said. Yeah, Denny, let's go home, eh? It's a good thing that the insurance pays for this, Yugi said. No kidding, Yami said. Well, you should come to Britain. It's all free. It's rubbish, but it's free. Once at home, Yami, Atomu, and Haber started in on him. Yugi, why did you break Tyler's jaw? Haber asked. Well, when I got there, Tyler's friends were there and they were talking. I overheard Tyler tell them that he got me date him by taking advantage of my memory loss and that he pretty much stole me from whomever my real boyfriend was, Yugi said. He said that? Atomu said. He didn't know I was there, Yugi said. Oh, Atomu said. Actually, it was pretty stupid of him to say it anyway, just on the off chance that I might have been there. But oh well, people are idiots. Well, he also told them he's have me in his bed by tonight, so I was pretty pissed, Yugi said. But you went through with the date? Yami asked. Payback, Haber said with a smirk. Exactly. When he suggested I go back to his place, I punched him once and told him I knew what he had down. When he grabbed me to stop me from walking off, I punched him again, Yugi said. Wow, I wish I could have seen that, Haber said. Now, I might need to go back to the hospital when I break my other hand on you, Yugi said, turning to Haber. Why me? Haber asked. Because you didn't tell me that he lied to me about being my boyfriend, Yugi retorted. Yugi, in my defense, we all agreed that we wouldn't tell you anything. If we told you that and you confronted Tyler about it, we were afraid he'd try to turn it around, saying that we were saying that because we didn't like him. We just didn't want that to happen, Haber said. Haber, I would believe you, my own brother, over a guy that I didn't remember, Yugi said. You would have? Haber asked. Yugi nodded. Heiba smiled. Sorry, Yugi. I was just worried that Tyler might convince you we were lying and get you angry at us. None of us wanted that, Heiba said. Besides, we knew that Tyler would screw up somehow and make it to where you didn't want anything to do with him, Atamu said. Well, I don't, Yugi said. That's good. At least you know, Heiba said. Yugi sat down on the couch. I wasted the night, really, Yugi said. You have to tell me, though. Did it feel satisfying when you punched him? Heiba asked. Yugi smirked. Yes, it was very satisfying, Yugi said. I wish I could have seen that one, Yami said. We all do, Atamu added. Now that I know I did date someone at some point, would you tell me who it was? Yugi asked. The group hesitated. It was Yami who answered. Yugi, we would like to, but it would be better if you remembered on your own, Yami said. He's right. That's what the doctor said, Heiba said. Answer me this. If someone tells me that I dated them, would you tell me if they're being honest or not? Yugi asked. Of course, Heiba said. Well, that's good enough for me, Yugi said. Yugi, I was just wondering what you and Tyler did tonight, Atamu said. Yugi smiled. We ate at the diner. He was already trying to seduce me then. While we were there, I saw him looking lustfully at the waitress, and I saw him flirting with her when I thought I was still in the restroom, Yugi said. Typical, Yami said. Then we went to a movie. It was some chick flick. He tried to get me to make out with him during the movie, but I acted like I was watching the movie. I couldn't stand the movie, but the thought of kissing Tyler was worse, Yugi said. Again, typical of him, Atamu said. After that, I was about to just come home when he suggested ice cream. After that was when he tried to get me to go home with him, and I think you can guess the rest, Yugi said. That had to be awesome to see him have the truth thrown in his face, Atamu said. He never squirmed, just got angry, Yugi said. Well, he deserved it after what he tried to pull, Heiba said. That night, Yugi and Yami were in their room. Yugi, are you sure that you're okay? Yami asked. Yeah, I'm fine, Yugi said. He looked over at Yami. Can I ask you a question? Yugi asked. Sure, what is it? Yami asked, sitting on his bed. When I told Tyler I knew that he had lied about me being his boyfriend, he asked if you had told me. Why did he automatically assume you? Yugi asked. Shit, Yami thought. He hadn't seen this coming. He thought fast. Well, I've always been kind of protective of you. He might have thought that I told you out of worry, Yami said. Well, I did notice this week that you're protective of me, Yugi said. I hope it doesn't bother you, Yami said. No, I find it rather endearing, Yugi said. I'm glad you don't mind, Yami said. No, I don't, Yugi said. I feel that way again. I'm calm and at ease with him. I feel comfortable and safe, not to mention my heart's racing a mile a minute. I feel something for him, Yugi thought. Well, it's getting late, so we better go to bed if we're meeting the others tomorrow, Yami said. Yeah, you're right. Good night, Yugi said, getting under his covers. Good night, Yami replied. He cut off his light and lay down as well. I love you, Aibu, Yami thought as he closed his eyes to go to sleep. Author's note. Hope you liked it. I know Yugi may have seemed a little OCC, but after spending all the time he did with Yami, Seto, Bakrua, Marek, and Atamu, I figured he'd toughen up, and I decided that he's keep those traits, even with memory loss. Next, not saying much, but that it centers on Yugi. Wow, like everything else in this fanfic. R&R.